What's up, folks? I'll see if I can riff here a little bit about RFK Jr. and freedom, because I always like to talk about freedom, and I don't really talk about political figures like by name very often, but just an interesting analogy, since he's in the news a lot and he's busy and so many people are big fans. It's become quite apparent, and he's out there being a savior for the people, but there's this analogy that I've spoken about before when it comes to chickens in a fenced-in area, or you could also relate it to fish in a tank, like a fish tank. Whereas if you put an animal in a caged-in area, in a short amount of time, those animals will destroy their environment, right, that they're trapped in. If they were free, if they had true freedom, they would live in balance with their natural environment. Like a fish in a river or a lake or the ocean is not going to destroy its surroundings. It'll be in balance with it. And the same thing with chickens. Naturally they're from the jungle or the forest, and they wouldn't destroy their environment, but when you fence them in, they will knock the whole thing out of balance, right? And on top of that, they need to be fed, right? Someone is in control of what they're being fed. So that begs the question, if human beings are truly free, Americans, let's just stick with Americans, let's keep it in America. If Americans are so free, then why are we destroying our environment? And why are other people controlling our food? Right? If there's no confines around us, then why would that be happening? Right? So RFK Jr. has done lots of great work in the respect of the environment, and now he's hard at work, going against the people who are controlling the food system. He's going against the food system and all the nastiness that's involved with that, right? But what are the prison walls for the human beings? And this is what I always want to get to, right? Is the root cause. The confines are the beliefs, our belief systems. I'm always talking about the government, right, is causing slavery, but it's the belief in the government that is keeping us from being truly free. It's the beliefs. The beliefs are the walls. So, RFK Jr., I want to think he's, in it for the right reasons. But ultimately, regardless of, where he's at and who he's involved with, he still represents the tank, right? The fish tank, or the fence around the chickens. He's not going after those walls. He's part of it. He's part of those walls, right? That people believe in. People believe in him wholeheartedly, and he probably wholeheartedly believes in what he's doing. But it's the beliefs. That's the prison. That's what's destroying our environment. That's what's leading us to not having any responsibility when it comes to our food, your own food, you know, and knowing where it comes from. It's gotten so out of control, and it all lies in those beliefs, right? And so, like, he's not really gonna save us as long as he's part of the problem. And then, last but not least, this may sound like I'm contradicting myself, but we are not animals, right? I'm comparing ourselves to animals in the analogy, saying, you know, if the chickens and the fish are destroying their environment, and you know there's other people in control of their food, then why are we doing the same thing? You know, is it because we're animals? No. And that's a much deeper subject, and I'm even losing track of what I was going to say about that. But without a doubt, that belief system, there is a very widespread belief system of that whole. So many people think that we're animals. And that belief is also legitimizing the need for government, right? Saying people are so out of control, people are just animals. We need to have laws and people to rule over us. And that keeps those walls, that belief right there, that survival of the fittest, law of the jungle, that Darwinian belief system that's been programmed into so many people. You know, we can think our way out of the box. We could think our way out of the tank. You know, the fish can't. That's the difference between us and the fish. You know, we're all beings on this planet, but no other has the consciousness and the intelligence that we do. So if we can believe ourselves into having these walls around us, we can believe those walls away. And that's the biggest difference, right? We can think ourselves out of it. It's the beliefs that keep us in it. So that's what you get with RFK. The whole belief system just perpetuating. But, you know, it's the way it is.